the first day of Media Days. We just so happened to have Ohio State on the very first day, so we got plenty of coverage for you, plenty of videos out there. It's been nice to be here in Las Vegas. Did not expect that when we started this year. Who would have thought? It wasn't on the bingo cards, but there was a lot of things that were today. On the bingo cards were NIL, they were playoff scenarios, and they were the best wide receiver in college football, Jeremiah Smith. Also, the reigning national title winners, your Ohio State Buckeyes. So there was a lot to talk about today. First, we got to get into it. The overarching theme for almost every coach and anyone related to the Big Ten was, look, there's going to be 4 teams from the Big Ten represented unless something changes with the conference schedules. There has to be 9 conference games in every league. If there's some teams that have 8, you know what? The Big Ten is going to keep pushing to have 4 automatic qualifiers. And Ryan Day even said it himself. It doesn't make any sense for the Big Ten to take anything less. Because think about it. If you beat a team that loses after you beat them, that's one more extra loss that they could possibly have that deflates kind of your strength of schedule. So there's no reason for Ohio State, no reason for the Big Ten to back down from that. They're going to keep fighting back at the SEC. You saw Kirk Cignetti, he said, you know, look, we're just adopting an SEC schedule right now. You know what? They got rid of Virginia on their schedule and they went it with some cream puffs. And you know what? The SEC comes with those cream puffs every year. At the end of the year, when you know what, everyone else is playing somewhat tough, even if it's not tough, a conference opponent you could lose to. Look at what happened to Ohio State in the past, going to Purdue, going to Iowa, and losing those big games on the road in the Big Ten. It makes a difference. But before we get any further, I gotta look at this. Look what's behind you. All right, you got the Luxor, you got Mandalay Bay. Look over here. I gotta get a break from all this. Look at that. Big Ten Media Days in Las Vegas. It's been awesome. Keep this view up. This is great. I'm glad to be here. It is hot outside, so I'm not going outside much. Next, we got to get into where I was most of the time. It was with Jeremiah Smith. Ryan Day said he could be a #1 wide receiver in the NFL right now, and he was asked if he was a top receiver in college football. He kind of declined to answer it, and he just simply dropped the mic and said, "You tell me." That was awesome. The other thing about Jeremiah Smith is what he said he was doing this offseason. He wanted to focus more on the film room. He was bulking up, but not trying to lose speed. Weighing in at about 225 right now. He looks huge, man. Looks absolutely huge. Looks great. I didn't get much time to spend with Caleb Downs or Sonny Styles. They were both going on at the same time. But I was with Ryan Day a little bit, and he talked about the leaders in the locker room right now. He did mention Bennett Christian, I believe, and Carnell Tate and Brandon Ennis as stepping up as being leaders. Austin Saraville, it kind of went without speaking. You've heard it before. He's going to be a starter. He's going to be one of the #1 guys on the team. He's leading that offensive line locker room. And while we're at it, talking about the offensive line, Ryan Day said basically the same thing that I've been saying to you if you're listening to our podcast. But those offensive linemen that are returning, all of them, Carson Hinsman, Luke Montgomery, all those guys coming back, Austin Saraville coming back, Tegra coming back, they all played in high elite levels in the playoffs. They're coming back this year. They're basically starters, even if they weren't counted as starters on paper. Then you bring in Ethan. Oh man, Ethan Oniawa is a beast. Ryan Day spoke heavily of him. Then you go to the defensive line. You know what? I think what happened really there is they had better players than that were in the portal. He said sometimes you look into the portal and you think you're going to get a better player than what you have, but there's nothing there. That speaks highly of that defensive line. And speaking of the defensive line, there was also a lot of mention by Caleb Downs, by Jeremiah Smith, that Kenyatta Jackson is going to be the man this year. Kenyatta Jackson also played in high school with Jeremiah Smith, and he had nothing but good things to say about him. So we're covered on the defense, we're covered on the offense. All we need is a little bit of experience. It's been a pleasure to be here at Big Ten Media Days, and I am here representing Mike Farrell Sports. Everyone have a good day. I will see you next time. God bless.